Yo, what's up? This is Splendid Radio on Farside TV with a special guest, Mr. Santana Westbrook.
What's happening? What's happening? Shit.
Ah man, see, I can't treat you like I treat other guests. Other guests, I usually give about 10 minutes and we just break the ice, you know what I'm saying? Shoot the thing, whatever. I'm over
Uh-oh.
here talking to Santana forever. Like, man, but you know somebody.
Right. We done forgot you supposed to start the show.
Yeah, we totally forgot. So the story of Santana, Westbrook. 11th grade high school, Narbonne High, Mr. Tally's photography class, um, a walk home because you ended up living like maybe a 5 minute walk from me. And in that in that walk home that day from high school, we talked about music, we talked about culture, we talked about so much, and it was crazy because it was dudes at our high school that I never even had like in-depth conversations with. I mean, dudes that I have known since 17 years old. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? So long story short, man, we've been cool ever since. Lost track of you in your college years. You know what I'm saying? I might have run into you at a UCLA party or something like that, but it was no conversation.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
right. Hey, let me tell you the full circle story right now. So I'm a teacher, a substitute guest teacher. Guess whose class I was in last Monday? Mr. Tally's photo class.
Wow.
Taught in that class. It's designed now for special ed students, but the kids was like, that dark room is still in there. The room that you go put the film on the rolls and stuff, everything is still in there. The only thing that's changed is the classroom.
Hey, we weren't special education, but we were special.
Right, right, right. And,
Oh man, we were special. I'm gonna tell you, photography. You know, I wasn't a good student in school because I just didn't have the passion for it. And you know, I always tell people I played the trumpet because it only had three keys. So I'm over here thinking like, oh man, it's gonna be easy. Like when I went to go and pick instruments, I was like, okay, it only got three. That's gonna be cool. I was mediocre at best, but I could hold a note.
okay.
On to Mr. Tally's photography class. The concept of photography was dope. I've used the dark room and everything, but the math of it is what was over my head. The apertures and all the settings and all that kind of stuff. Like, man, I just did not have the passion for photography to. It's almost like it probably would have been as easy as learning the metric system.
Right.
And not to say the metric system is hella easy, but you can get the concept and you can understand it if you choose to understand it. But with photography, um, point, focus, shoot. That's the only aspect I was interested in. Therefore, I was not, you know.
Hmm. But I say this is that from that class, I learned the visual aesthetic, the rule of thirds, how to blur a background, even to the stuff that I'm doing to this day. Like when I pick artwork for different things, or now that you can utilize AI to generate the exact visuals that you want, I use a lot of the terms from those photography classes in my scripts for the AI. And that has generated some pretty cool pictures for me. Yeah. Uh-oh.
I said, nah, I said, you know what that class did for me? It it shaped me for discipline. It didn't teach me because I was rebellious 100% to any form of discipline coming from him. He said, Campbell, you sharp as a rat turd, dull on both ends.
That's Mr. Tally, boy.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
That was a
man.
good time.
God bless him, man. God bless him. So yeah, man, I could, man, we could spend a week on the memory lane, but
Right.
I will say, um when Brown decided he wanted to evolve Far Side TV, I was surprised when he was like, "Oh man, call Santana." But I think, to get up on the station to actually, before it was like the video aspect. Well, I guess it was the video aspect back
Yeah.
then, but it was
From the get.
the audio studio, but working on a video production type of thing. And I met you over there off of either Pico or Venice,
Yeah.
one of the two, Jamaican food spot.
Yeah. Shout out to We Jamming.
Yeah.
You said the pit bull tails instead of the oxtail.
Hey man, oxtails should be purchased at the like the Northgate type of markets.
Right.
They got the whole tail, man. They just break him down. You know what I'm saying? You have something sizable. Shoot,
Yeah.
nowadays they don't even have the pit bull tails. I mean, they got rat tails, man.
They skimpy. Yeah. Good times, man. And that was yeah, straight out the gate, man. It was KPFK was ripe for the you know, we had all the space that we needed, and it wasn't ever, I don't think it's ever been used to its full potential. And
Man,
it was like when we came in there and started setting the bar a little bit, a way bit higher than they was used to.
hey, man, none of them people who have been doing what they were doing for several years was feeling the energy of some other cats coming in there, bringing guests through, up to date guests,
Right,
current guests, and not being on something different than community activism. Not saying that community activism is bad, because you need that, like you need
right,
that. But this was something where if they wouldn't have fooled with it, it could have been more than it was. That's what I.
right, right. The truth of all of that is when you're around people who are constantly desperate for money, and then they see you putting money in your pocket, next thing you know, not only they counting that bread, they looking at all the equipment that you got, but they studio don't got. Then it's like, you know, uh, 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 trying to rob me to make the station float is like, come on, bro, that's not how we do business. I do my grant writing, and you pay somebody to do your grant writing. If you want me to do it, you got to pay me. But
Oh
right now,
man,
I work for me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
I
Anyway,
I'll tell you one thing in my gluttonous ways that I miss about that. Uh, Brown would always say, I got this thing, what I used to years ago. I had this thing where I would kind of like not really talk down on stuff that was like close to me or central to me, but I would make it like it wasn't a big thing. Some of it probably had to do with just me traveling a lot and just experiencing so much so fast for a very long amount of time, where I was just like, this place is doper than LA, or doper than the house. And, da, da, da. And Brown would be like, dude, you live near Rolling Hill, dude. You got all kinds of stuff by you, man. You go out into the world, not the world meaning the literal world, but he's like, you go to Hollywood and you go da 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 da, and like, dude, you got so much stuff around the house. I say that to say there used to be a Paquito Mas over there off of PCH by where Whole Foods is, dude. I did not start liking Paquito Mas until we were up there at KPFK. And I'm like, I'm tripping. I'm driving all the way out here to get this.
it's
And
right
you,
around the
and you,
corner.
oh, but you know how karma works? They closed the one by the house, man.
Hey man,
That was the karma.
in the spiritual realm, that's called diamonds in your backyard.
Oh
So
man.
you'll travel the world looking for the gems that's right under your nose. And
You know what? This is on a side note. The Alchemist, man. I read it 4 times. I've listened to it about 10 times. He went all the way around the world, got hustled by everybody for something he had the whole time.
hey,
uh, spoiler alert.
yeah, I might have to dust that one off and read it again, update my whole life. But yeah, man, dude, this whole journey of like I said, Mr. Talley's photography class to the just the far side in general, uh, knowing you guys through almost every phase of my life. And I feel like even the people who are back home, they they witness the experience of like me being around certain people. So I've worked at Warner Brothers, I've done product placement. These are all parts of
When
the
you say back home, you mean Illinois?
Illinois. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's people in my hometown that follow my radio show. I mean, all of my hometowns. I lived in like 3 different places. So I got like the elementary, junior high following, then the high school, beginning of high school, and then I ended, my high school career out here at Narbonne. But all of those circles of people still follow me, and they live through oh man, you deal with the far side. When I was doing product placement, when I worked at Warner Brothers, it's like anything show business related. When you come from a really small pond and somebody that you know is out there, I'm backstroking and freestyling in the ocean. To them, it's like knowing or being involved in an element that they really have no idea how it works. That part of my life has just been like, oh man, I'm blessed to be able to do everything that I'm doing. Everything is worked out almost like cosmically in a way that I still believe that something big is supposed to happen. And so that energy of the right core people being a part of that though, the fact that you're around, that Brown is around, it makes sense to me. Like, yeah, I can ride this wave. This wave is important. So it's
I'll, I'll give you another perspective. Something big is happening now, and it's been happening.
mm, yeah, yeah,
And the thing is, we're going to get to this part of the conversation, but I got to throw this in right now because it has some context.
okay,
When we think back 5, 10, 15, 20 years, when we think of right now, the honest question is going to be what side of history were you on? And I'm not even saying political. I'm just saying as the sum of your life. You know what I'm
mm-hmm.
saying? You experiences, moving through, everybody's human, and not to get deep or just whatever, but we all human. You know what I'm saying? We all like, man, nobody's going to be 100% of whatever. But I've seen people do stuff that was so I had a conversation one time with this attorney, and he's the same attorney that had put Tribe Called Quest back together. He's the same attorney that did Outcast and some stuff, whatever. And we were talking, and he said something very interesting in that meeting. He said, he was from Baltimore, and he said, man, I've seen drug dealers that have shot each other that didn't kill each other come back together and do business. Like he said that. Now, when he said that in one way, I kind of felt like maybe what he's communicating to me is something really big. But then that was just me because when I look at things, I always look at things with duality. That's just I'm a Taurus, but when I look at things, I always try to place some level of understanding on the other side, not to be naive to it, but just that's I believe in duality, like all the way down to a song. If it's a song that a lot of people like and I don't like it, I'm not gonna say it's whack. I'm just gonna say that it's not like it's there for the people that have embraced it, and there's enough people that embrace it that I can't deny what it is. It's just not my particular thing or whatever. But I say all that to say you got people that will literally do anything, man. And I think that I'm just not that way. You know what I'm saying? And I think me and Brown click a little bit because he's kind of not that way. Like what? Put it this way. One thing I've learned is that the more you accept from somebody, the more they're going to expect from you. So if you're doing something that is like that's not really if you want to put it to political times or whatever, you could say dudes that work for ICE or just whatever. You could do something and feeling like the compensation will be, I hate saying worth it, but the compensation is, well, I guess that's what it is, worth it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, it's like, man, if you're stressed out, if you're just going through so much, if you're doing things that morally you're not with or just whatever, it's kind of like, was it really worth it? You know what I'm saying? Like, was it really? Dude, peep this. I try to live every day, man. Even if it's 10 minutes to myself in the morning when I wake up having some tea, some chai. So you were with the whole life coaching thing, or you had experienced the life coaching situation. I'm gonna get back to the interview, bro. I'm gonna say this real quick. Dude, the most important thing that I learned out of all that is you gotta learn how to give something to yourself.
Right. Right.
A lot of people don't like, dude, 5 minutes. They can't even give themselves 5 minutes. But anyway, as we move
Yeah.
on,
Grace to yourself. Yeah.
that's what happens when you talk to your homeboy and you ain't talked to your homeboy in years. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
For periods of time. But what's the last hip hop album you listened to?
Ooh, last hip hop album. Man. Maybe I'm gonna go with Larry June, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And then with Mick Jenkins.
Okay.
Those are the two that kind of come to mind right now that have kind of been circulating the most. Yeah, those two for sure. Yeah.
Not just hip hop. I listen to an album every weekend.
Okay.
I just believe that it's like an ancient language that people are forgetting how to speak. You gotta.
Yeah, yeah. You know, when you pegged me in the hip hop album, my mind had to laser focus in because my lanes are like all the way.
The Autobahn.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, uh, when it comes to just general music, it's like I'm listening to music every day. I'm getting prepared for my show. Uh, so Sunday show is in the mix all week. It's like I find like a core like 3 to 5 songs, and then from those 3 to 5 songs, I know how I want to build up to that or how I want to get out of that. You know, like if I start there, I know how I want to end. So the 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 beautiful part is the constant flow of new music is just, yeah, you gotta check the Truthseeker playlist. That that shit will tell you what I'm on this week. Yeah.
So tell me this: have you heard the new Mobb Deep album?
No, I haven't. He
It's dope, but it's not dope because Prodigy's dead. That's not the reason why it's dope. That like it's not. We're not gonna do that.
right.
It's dope. The Alchemist, um, he has a gift. To me, I'm not gonna get into comparing him. He's a dope producer, and his style it's really Mobb Deep sound. Like a lot of it is like kind of like, I mean, but you know, he was
Yeah.
their producer for several years, but it's like, and it seems like now he he's not so refined with it. You know what I'm saying? He's not so refined. Like it's like something else. But dude, I can listen to the Alchemist production. Like man,
Yeah.
yeah, he
I've been meaning to look for the project that he had done with Erica Badu.
okay.
So it's like I definitely want to hear that combination. And so I'm definitely look up Mobb Deep because shit, that's one of my favorite rap groups of all time, man. The Infamous is just one of them albums, bro. It's like an era in time that it brings back. I can remember where I was living. I can remember the first time I was smoking cloves. Man, Bob Deep shit is on in my crib.
And you know why too? The dollar was worth a whole lot more. Even if you didn't have no money, you could do a whole lot, man.
Whole lot with, hey man, when rent was $350 a month,
Man,
I had extra money, and
come on, man. Come on, man.
God bless, timing was great. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's what's up. I'm gonna have to think about some other. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get into the new music a little bit more than I have been.
I'm gonna give you an album that you could appreciate. Uh it definitely flew under a lot of people's radar. It's kind of old, but uh if you're an Erica Badu fan, she did a song on this project called Love Rocket in the Moon. It
Mm,
was Damon Albarn from the Gorillaz, Flea from the Chili Peppers, and Tony Allen on drums.
okay,
And she did a song on that album that is man, it's really dope to me.
okay. So so my fascination with Erica Badu stems. So she did. It was like a Valentine's show she did at the Shrine Auditorium, and I went there thinking, like I've seen Erica Badu do songs before, but this time, dude, she did dub dub versions of stuff that I'd never heard before.
Mm-hmm.
So it was right up my lane because I'm like Lee Scratch Perry, King Tubby, like these are figures in my constellation of people that I idolize, Jay Dilla, but these are the Jamaican versions of why I listen and like what I like. So at this concert, shout out to my homegirl Tarsha who took me. Uh, she and I had, I would say, almost like a metaphysical experience that night. Erica Badu was on the visuals for the show, the fact that everything was dubbed out, it made me respect her artistry in a whole different way. So Thundercat was there. Thundercat was playing the bass, and it was the first night that she kind of outed the fact that they had a relationship. And I was like, Thundercat got to clap them cheeks? Damn, nigga, if he could hit it, I might have had a chance.
This dude.
But it was the reality. It was a dream gone too far at that moment. But the music and the way that she played everything live, and I feel like she had the drum machine and DJ. Dude, it was probably one of the dopest concerts that I've ever been to. So
Mm.
shout out to Badu for that one. That was a heat night. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. You know she was Bert's roommate, Bert and Drew's roommate at Grambling.
No.
Yeah.
Degrees of
Yeah.
separation.
Hey man, world's the size of a shot glass, man.
Damn. Right. I bet Bert got some stories.
Oh man, that dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, love him to death, man. OG Bert. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and you know what? Did you know Drew?
Not drawing a
Yeah, so
picture.
I ended up meeting Drew through Bert. But yeah. Drew's my partner to this day, man. He does third. Man, I'm not gonna miss say what he does, but we're gonna give him a shout out
Shout
because
out.
he down with me. He my rider. He's one
Okay.
of those dudes I talk to. I talk to him once a week. You
All
know what
right.
I'm
All
saying?
right.
I
Oh,
talk to him
fish
once a
out.
week.
Fish
He a
out.
good dude. Your favorite hip hop movie?
Ooh. Hip hop movie. Ooh. Dang. I'm going to probably have to say Juice, maybe. Like, I like the criminal aspect of Juice, but I would say more so The Wire is probably my favorite, like culture inspired hip hop vibe show uh that I was listening like as that show was on. I used to get a lot of inspiration of like some of the music that they would play. But man, yeah, I would Juice comes to mind. Man,
That's that's a cool one.
yeah, I'm trying to even think of, of course you would back in the day, breaking is always like, like that was so groundbreaking at the time that, it has to stand up. But then actually no, Beat Street is where I got to see the first elements of how people were making music. So actually, I'm gonna bump Beat Street up to the part. So the guy that was making the beats in Beat Street, that's where my fascination with becoming a producer probably kicked in the most. And then Lee's crew, just the whole part of Beat Street was super dope. Yeah, that's probably my favorite hip hop movie.
Yeah, I would probably say Beat Street and Breaking would be my solid. But then I got exposed. Dude, I didn't get exposed to Wild Style until 2000.
Mm.
I didn't even, I didn't, man, I had no idea. And then I was just like, oh,
Lost Styles in there. Shout out to Fab Five Freddy.
oh man, Busy Bee.
Big up to the whole squad. Yeah. That whole I probably didn't watch Wild Style until later in life too. I didn't see it at the time that I saw Beat Street and Breaking. I had no I don't even really know what year Wild Style came out.
Your middle school, yeah, because you didn't go to junior high school. You came out here in high school, so you would have went to middle school, not junior high school. What was your soundtrack?
In junior high,
You didn't go to no junior high. You went to middle school. Did you go to junior high? When did you get to LA? When did you get to Harbor City?
uh, I got here 11th grade.
They
So
didn't call it junior high school in the East Coast, did they?
our junior high was from eight, eighth grade and ninth grade.
Oh, okay.
We went to high
Okay.
school 10, 11, and 12. So, you were in middle school up till seventh grade.
Okay.
We had a whole different junior high complex. It was just eighth and ninth graders. And then, shit, even in elementary school, we got segregated. We only went to school together K through 4. Then we had to go to what they call the fifth grade center. That was the acclimation to even go to the sixth grade. So you all had to be together in the fifth grade. Then when you went to junior high, you had already been like socialized in this same era type stuff. But yeah, my soundtrack for that era, ooh, a lot of craft work. Uh, I'll say uh, Michael Jackson's Off the Wall. Those are some of the albums that I had a lot of Shalimar, uh, and I think that's like the era when I really start getting into like Grandmaster Flash and all kinds of like, I'm trying to remember what songs though they would be playing on the radio then, but like my obsession with recording stuff from a speaker onto a cassette tape.
Pause mixes.
Dude, not only music, but I would record sitcoms. So Different Strokes, uh, Sanford and Son. I used to record stuff and then I'll play it when we would ride the bus to school. So I've been broadcasting for a long time.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right. Right now, what would you say is your largest medium for finding new music?
Spotify.
Okay.
It's dude, the I would say I'm so confident in my Spotify algorithm now that no matter when I open it up, the suggestions that it pulls from the playlist that I already have, it might give me songs that I haven't heard in a long time. But if I take those songs and I put them in a playlist, so I use Apple. It used to be called Genius, but the algorithm that's in my Spotify is so sharp now that dude, it feeds me like I could go through the suggested songs and I could like almost like 8 out of 10 songs
Hmm.
on every suggestion. So if I hit refresh, the next 8 songs I know gonna be fresh. That I'm dating myself by saying fresh, but it's 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 pretty thorough and uh it's been a while, but I'll say Spotify, Bandcamp, and a lot of artists email me things directly. So yeah, man, the stream is always pretty potent. So
How many hours a day would you say you listen to Spotify? Or
ooh,
you don't listen to it like that?
I'm going through music, well, not as much as I used to. Uh, Now I say about maybe like 3 hours a day.
Okay.
maybe 3 to 4 hours a day. Um, if I'm listening, I used to be able to listen to music 8 hours a day when I worked at Warner Brothers. It was the background music, so I would be able to just hit play. Uh, I used to listen to this thing called Soma FM, and they would cover so much ground that throughout the day, man, I would have by the end of the day, I would have a laundry list of songs that I need to find.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's yeah, man, I could listen and the number of playlists that I could build in one day. Yeah, all of my sets for my show end up being like 3 to 4 hours, and I only do a 1 hour show. So, my part of my show is only 1 hour, but
Mm-hmm.
I have essentially like almost a month's worth of music after every city. So, yeah, shout out to Spotify. I really appreciate having access to every song in the universe. Yeah,
I said, yeah, for the consumer it's cool, but for the artist, man,
nah, it's not the place for the artist. I feel like
yeah.
I'm doing God's work though by by putting all the music that I find in a playlist that makes uh, that music more curated and accessible to people. I
Mm-hmm.
hope that enough people will trust me with their ears that they know that if I put it in a playlist, man, I've done some discernment. I don't just put anything in a show.
Not loosely.
Nah, there's too much good music to just be willy nilly with it.
All right. So yeah, man, I had to go down memory lane. Just there was just no way that wasn't gonna happen. And it was like for even if I tried to turn left, I'd end up circling back around. So we got that out the way. Um Truthseekers Radio, break that down.
Oh man. So shout out to my squad, shout out to Ellen Red, Big Up Brown, um, my whole starting of it. Um, Big up Nate, Nate Scott, the architect behind Truthseekers. He used to be the program director at, or was he the program director or general manager? Program director, I think, at KPFK. And I met Nate through Lano Brazil. And so I was just kind of tagging along with Lano and the opportunity. Lano wasn't available one time when I was just tagging along, and so I knew how to run the big, radio console board because I had a college show at UCLA called Beats and Brunch. Then it was called The Movement. So that one night where I was in the right place at the right time, filling in for somebody that was at the time he had just partied too much. So when Nate saw me running the boards, he was like, I need you to be here every time these guys do Truthseekers. So Truthseekers was originally Lano Brazil, uh, Daz, and Shakespeare. And then I was originally just Lano's assistant. So I helped Lano do a couple of shows before that on KPFK. So I was just tagging along. Any opportunity to be inside of a radio station was just where I wanted to be. But the way that it all fell into my lap, it was like I'm never letting go. This it's like a dream come true. So yeah, man, shout out to all the people in the past. Big up to DJ Daz, Shakespeare. Shout out to Chris Dow with the Piss Dow. Uh, yeah, everybody who came and went and those who are still around, making Truthseekers what it is. But like, it's really just a soundtrack to your dreams becoming true. It's all of the music that I play or the music that I find. And yeah, man, it's just kind of like the soundtrack to my life. And all the things that I pick up when I'm in the grocery store, it might be music playing in the background that, dang, I didn't even know. I thought that was a Dilla track. I never knew that was, I never knew who he sampled to get that. But now that I hear it, I gotta play that in the show. You know what I'm saying? It's got strings to it. So television shows, you name it, man. I'm constantly uh, on the hunt for the inspiration for the moment. You know, it could be what I got going on in my head. Um, Health and recovery has been a big thing as of late, and making sure I'm around to keep doing this. So you know, it's like you calling me, yeah, folks making sure that my health. I just experienced triple bypass heart surgery a couple months back. So the appreciation for what I do and bringing that sound to people, the people who've reached out to me to let me know how important that aspect of the show is in their life. It, very inspiring, man, and very motivating to just get right. Think that I don't know what else the another question you might have. I think I answered it. Yeah.
Not at all. That was definitely man. That was something that need. Hey, man, when I was a kid, I say it a million times on the podcast. My folks is from Brookhaven, Mississippi. We tell stories and we smoke meat. That's what we do. So you're gonna get some of. So when I was a little kid, I didn't want to take Tylenol or just medicine or whatever. So they used to mash it up in sugar and give it to me in sugar. And
Mhm.
man, you gotta have some vegetables with the protein. You gotta
Yeah.
have some. You can't just have one. You gotta you
Yeah.
got yeah, you gotta mix it up. So no, that was hey man, somebody needs to hear somebody who's gone through a health challenge and like man, it recalibrated the
The number of people who have experienced various forms of heart failure, uh, just when people found out what I went through, uh, and it, you know, man, I'll say it got bad maybe like a year ago around this time. So around Thanksgiving, Christmas, man, I was having to get blood transfusions, and they was talking about. I thought them putting stents in was going to be a big deal, but then when they went to go put the stents in, they're like, "Nah, man, you're gonna have to have an open heart surgery. There's nothing we could do for you." And the reality of mortality, hey, man, there's I say that we know enough people that are on the other side of the dirt already.
man, that's a
And
fact.
that part of it, uh, I wish I had a picture of the painting, but I got a painting in my bedroom, and it's of a it's a friend of mine just gave me the painting. Like it didn't mean anything to them, but when I got the painting, it's like a it's like a white child, but the white child's in a raincoat, and I look at that painting as my inner white child, and so it's very sarcastic. And so when you thinking something, you always trying to stay politically correct. You know, like your morals and ethics. You always want to do the right thing and say the right thing. You don't want to hurt nobody's feeling. But this painting that I have, it don't care about none of that. So one day I woke up and the painting, like the fact that it speaks to you, it says shit is like, why you think you special? Hey man, It's an obituary with your picture on it already. Keep messing around. Your family's last memory gonna be you on a couple pieces of paper. That's what your whole life gonna come down to. That's what they gonna write about you. And is that how you want to die at 53, 52? Man, you better get it together. And when I came and I was brushing my teeth and looking in the mirror, I was like, yeah, man, I've been avoiding the diabetic diagnosis for 6, 7 years. And then finally, when I went in and I spoke, with a what's your blood doctor? Your blood doctor is called what? Why is it? It's escaping my mind.
Nah, I know what you're talking about.
He's an oncologist, but
Yeah,
he also studies your blood. So
oncologist maybe.
he was like, well, a pathologist. That makes sense, but he has a specific name. But he's an African guy, and he said, "Hey, man, if the gas that you putting in the engine is wrong, it's only you survive running your engine on the wrong gas for a long time. But the signs that you busting your engine are coming up now. You have to look at this in a different way. You got to get your blood sugar under control. And until you do that, of course, your heart's going to be failing. Of course, it's going to seem like a log jam. Everything that could go wrong, the signs of it have been going wrong for a while. You've been ignoring it. And that change of, what I need to eat, what I should and shouldn't drink, and uh, my obsession with canyon water really started kicking in. And
Mm.
the fact that if I drink that water, I have no urges for sugar. I just have the urge to drink more canyon water.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I'll
that
say,
helped me.
yeah, I've been on that water for I bought a machine probably like my first one probably like around 2012 or something like that.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying? And I had a older cat. Nah, man. OG Bobby Glanton Smith, man. He's a LA fixture to uh the community, like uh he's a community figure. You know what I'm
okay,
saying? He's the dude that's gonna show up. He believes in black dollars recycling, the recycling of black dollars and all that kind of stuff. He's Bobby probably about 65, 60, 66.
okay,
He's up there, but he's OG. But anyway, I was a fan of a podcast he was on, and he ended up knowing my pops real cool. And so when I started when my father introduced me to him, I was like, "Oh man, this is Bobby, Glenn Smith. I see him on a little podcast. He's on a podcast with a comedian. I think it's hilarious." Anyway, he was like, "What kind of water are you putting in your body?" But he wasn't hustling. I tell you what, more people should sell you things that you need and not that you want. That's
right,
what I'll say. And so I was just like, he was like, well, you know what? I'm selling them for X amount of dollars, but if you get one, I'll install it for you. So what I ended up doing was I ended up finding this lady who used to work for him. And they kind of frown on that though, like when people work, and because I guess they sell it to their employees for cheap or whatever. But anyway, uh I came off a tour. I had a little something in my pocket, and I was like, you know what, man, you're gonna invest in you. And so I
right,
went to her house. She showed me how to hook it up. Whoop, whoop. So then I called Bobby after I bought it. He had his dude come because that's the only kind of thing that's just you gotta have somebody that knows what they're doing when they're connecting it to your regular water if you don't want it to be like an eyesore. So like the way that I had it set up is
Mhm.
it was with my kitchen sink. Like it didn't look like something like super out of place. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But if you don't know, it's almost like if somebody gives you an electric car charger and instead of mounting it to the wall, you got it on the floor in the garage or something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it got to be done right. But me having it, dude, my water intake went up, my whole everything just kind of switched up. I won't go into the whole snake oil energy and all this, that, and other, but I'll say from the simple fact of me drinking water and consistently drinking water. And the funny thing about it is, after you start drinking that water for about a month, it'll taste sweet to you. It won't taste sweet to you like sugar, but the way that you taste things will just.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway, we're not gonna get they not cutting the check, so we're not gonna give them too much.
No, 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 no. I'm just saying I appreciate that you had already planted the seed of it. Then uh my father, my it's like my dad passed away, my mom gets remarried. I go visit my mom in her new spot in St. Louis. I'm over at the sink, like washing my dishes, and I see that my new stepfather has a Kangen water machine. I'm sitting here, I was like, oh, wait. This is what Greg taught. I never knew what the machine looked like.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that I read, I was like, what is beauty water? Da-da-da. I'm looking at the whole thing. And so he comes down, he's like, all the water that's in the fridge is the Kangen water. So man, I get a glass. Next thing you know, I done drank 6 glasses of water. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
this water is amazing. I don't know what it is. And he was like, man, you already know. If your boy was been telling you about it for years, and now you getting to really taste it for yourself, dude. My whole family that was coming to visit me while I was in St. Louis. I'm like, you drink bottled water, right? That's all you drink, right? They're like, yeah. I was like, I want you to try this glass of water. Dude, everybody that came to the house, we all sitting around drinking this water like it's wine. Everybody's like, that's the best water I've ever tasted in my life. I'm like a Saratoga water person, a Fiji water person, the Trader Joe, everybody had their brand. But when I left St. Louis, I was like, there's only one thing on my want list. All I want is a Kangen water machine. I don't want no more music equipment. I can't think of nothing else I want. I got to get that machine.
Hey man, we
Let's move on. You can edit that out.
nah.
Somebody just
Nah,
get the
I can't
boy.
even hate on it though, dude. I know the feeling. Like, dude, when you
Yeah.
when you start doing when you've done something so opposite of right for so long, and then you find something that's right, and it's dude, my father he listened to a lot of like self-help stuff. Like that was just all his thing. So as a teenager, he forced it on me, forced it on me, forced it on me, forced it on me, and I just went the opposite direction.
Mm.
The most unlikely person to roam the face of this earth started playing some of the self-help stuff that my father used to play. And dude, it changed my whole perspective on life, man. I said, dude, if this lay like, man, the person who introduced it to me, I was like, oh man, I gotta spin the record back, man. If this guy is giving me the knowledge that's been forced on me since 13, I'm listening, like, man, I got to go back and do some work. So anyway, I say that to say, man, it ain't too late to get your water game up, to get your Kangen on, all that. You know what I'm saying?
Nah. Hey, just so I could bring it full circle on I used to think that my dad was supreme Jedi. But ultimately, it's like my dad was into a lot of uh, Edgar Casey, uh, Yogananda. He had a
Mhm.
very active spiritual side when I was a kid. I never really attributed much. I thought it was all my dad. But
Mhm.
then the one day I think I was listening to an audio uh, presentation by Zig Ziglar.
Mhm.
My mom hears Zig Ziglar's voice like coming from my room, and she's like, "I used to listen to him so much back when I was this dude." When she broke down how far back she goes with the Zig Ziglar stuff, I was like, "It was you and my dad. It wasn't
Yeah.
just him. It was you
Yeah.
also." Like it was the first time that I really had attributed this that self-help environment that has been in place in my life for so long. It's such a foundation and pillars in my life that I assume that everybody has it. I assume that everybody is built the same way. But it's like in reality, I was blessed to have such a special set of parents, and it continues on to this day. It's like yeah, I want to give a shout out to my mom for just molding my mind right from a kid.
It's so funny. I was doing something for a client today. It actually is my cousin, but the client cousin, and she's got a birthday party coming up, and she wanted to do some bookmarks. And so, I'm not gonna charge her for that, but I had my designer working on it and whatever. And when I thought of the bookmark, I was like, oh man, let me go and look up because we did bookmarks for your father's for his thing. So I was like, oh, let me look up the size or whatever. And I thought about your father, dude. I think about your father so much, and what I think about is the fact that um, I never knew. I never knew nothing about him other than he looked like you, and y'all was about the same size, and he was cool to me whenever I came to the house. But during his funeral, they broke down how he was a conflict resolution specialist. And I was just kind of like, dang. Dude, I think about that every time I'm on the 405. I pass Wilmington every dude when I'm in Carson, whatever. I just think like, man, this is a person that I don't know if he made money or if he didn't make money, but there were people that thought enough of him to handle high level conflicts and not conflicts. We're not talking about two kindergartners slapping each other in the head type level.
Nah, he was on a whole nother level. They had brought him in during the Mandela era. Uh, it was called the Truth and Reconciliation part of South Africa rebuilding their relationships between uh, blacks and white Africans and how they would have to coexist. So when I saw that my dad's level of expertise was being called in on that level, it it wasn't just a side job. This dude was out doing some of God's good work, and
Hey.
yeah, what I've learned about conflict resolution. So before he was that, he was a prison warden. So
Mm.
he's seen conflict resolution go, yeah, as bad as it could possibly go. He's
I'm
seen
absolutely
worse.
positive.
Yeah,
Um,
the collages that I would see him have to put together to train prison guards on what to look out for. Here's what'll happen to you if your head ain't on a swivel. I saw that when I was like in the seventh grade. I saw stabbing, what wounds look like when you're gashed open, and when it's like my dad had been part of uh, Pontiac prison in Illinois had like riots and all kinds of stuff. He was warden or vice warden at some of the some maximum security prisons in Illinois. So
Mhm.
when we relocated to uh, Los Angeles, he wanted to do something completely opposite of where
Mm.
he came from, and so solving disputes before they even become like the things I witnessed him diffuse. It was just it was amazing. And so to be a child of that, like, man, I can't really have no problems with nobody. My dad will give me the script. And his
Mm.
number one lesson was, hey man, it's none of your business what other people think about you.
Amen. I
Yeah.
hey, I give you one of the best ones that my life coach gave me. We all eat food, but taste it different, man. We all eat.
Yeah. And when it come out, it's all gonna smell the same. Do delicious. Yeah. So yeah, anyway, shout out to Dennis Bradley Westbrook,
Yes,
hey,
yes,
the
sir.
diffuser. His name was in certain circles, they called him the diffuser.
Hey, man, I was I've been to several funerals, and you really get to learn about a person's life when they read the eulogy and all that. And with your father, it was just it was amazing to me that that conflict resolution at a point in his life was something that he did, and he did it, like I said, he did it on a level higher than two kindergartners slapping each other
Right,
in
right.
the head. This is a question that you could probably give some insight on based on your day job. Do the youth today understand what's going on in the country politically?
I'm gonna say no. They have no. It doesn't resonate with them at all. The level that they're in on it is uh, NBA young boy, the mumble rap scene. Uh, you know, nobody. Man, yeah, that world is very scroll heavy, very TikTok heavy, very dancey. That at least people of color are not activated on no level politically.
I read that social media was they think so people think a foreign revolution is going to be 1950 style boats hitting the coast and bombs dropping out the sky. Nah, man. Something that has you addictive to looking at $1,000 device that you carry around with you, and you're waking up in the middle of the night and you're constantly looking at it, and it makes you feel good about yourself. It makes you feel bad. It makes you look at what other people are doing, and oh man.
Nah, that dude, that that element of the power of social media and they I say they're clueless about what's cool until it shows up in their feed.
Mm.
Once once it hits their feed and it has some kind of relevance, the I think where it hits home for this younger generation, and I'm mainly in high schools and middle schools now.
Mm-hmm.
So the way that they see me as an anomaly, man, I'm not like anybody that they know. I'm not like their parents. I'm not like their regular teachers. So the conversations that I have with them is gonna be uh, way different than anything that they've ever scrolled past. the information of my life experience, dude, I could break down certain elements. I was like, man, you don't even know how you being herded right now. Right now, hey man, I'm in a school that don't have no white students. Where do the white students go? Why is I've never seen, I was never in a class that was a majority black and brown people. I was always a sprinkle. I was like two or three black people in a class. And so my level of competition is different. So the way I approach my life is different. And so when I have to break down, it's like, hey man, I've worked at the top entertainment company in the world. I've had a radio show. I've done product placement. I've cashed checks, uh, you know, 20, 30, $50,000 at a time. I've made uh, as a side hustle, man, I used to make five grand a month just doing nothing. So this part of my life, this cycle, I was like, you haven't even experienced, if you can't break your addiction long enough to learn how to learn, what are you going to do in the future? What are you good at? I know I've seen kids who are really great artists visually, they could draw. I've seen that level of talent, that those kind of people who really know what they could do well, they use social media for their advantage. They're, like you said, content creators,
Mm-hmm.
but not content consumers. So it's almost like once, and it's not just the kids, even as adults, you got to decide, are you a consumer? Are you a creator? And how do you utilize the medium that's available to you? If I had social media when I was uh, uh, 14, 15, I mean, yeah, man, I probably would have been front loaded with a lot of pornography. I would have been Playboy, but man, don't give me untethered access to naked pictures of people. So
Amen.
overcoming that part of, I can't remember the last time I've looked up no naked stuff on the internet. I use it. I use the tools, the laptops, the phones. I'm constantly learning about the craft that I'm involved in. Is music, radio, painting, design stuff. So I was like, you once they find what they're passionate about,
Mm-hmm.
dude, that if they're utilizing it that way, they're miles ahead of any place that we would have been at that same age. So yeah, knowing the limits though.
So, um, when the Kamala Harris and Trump presidential race was going on, I saw some interesting stuff happen. One of them was, uh, well, this was before that, where Facebook would do fact checking, and they would even do fact checking to the point of when if a person had something that was AI, or if it was generated in Photoshop or something like that, they had mechanisms in Facebook that would make something pop up and say this is not a real, or something to let you know that it's not,
Yeah,
it's,
it's a fakey.
yeah, it's a fakie. So, um politically, I wasn't like all in on either candidate like that. I, just, man, everybody, it's like a meal. You're not gonna like everything. You're not gonna love everything on your plate. You may like a lot. You may like more stuff more than you like other stuff, but you're not gonna love every unless you're creating the meal yourself. We'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when people go hard about Trump and they call Kamala just the dumbest person in the world and all this, that, and the other, the duality that I have makes me say we've got to have some type of truth. We can't forget how to have conversations about truth. And I'll ask people, I'll say, why didn't Trump debate Kamala the last two times that she was willing to debate him? Well, he wasn't going to sit. People say, well, he wasn't going to sit there. She's dumb. The Democrats are this, that, and da, 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 da. I say, no, that's not why. I said, I'm going to tell you why. Trump refused to do a debate where there was live fact check.
Right.
And that was her condition of like, she felt that that was enough to win, is that, America would care about the truth. And then if they're fact checking, it's whatever. But the crazy thing about that, the one debate that they had where there was fact checking, Trump was like, well, that's the fake news, the fake me.
Right. Those,
And then,
that's the lie.
yeah. And so it's all lies. But I asked you the question about does fact checking matter, because I really feel it does, but I think it's not going to matter until there's a change of the guards one way or another, because people are so angry that like facts don't matter.
Nah, it's not going to be until the effect hits you personally,
Mm-hmm.
that something that happens impacts you directly. So, what day is the first is on Sunday? Is that the first day of November when millions of white people don't get their SNAP benefits, when the government isn't back up and running by, let's say, mid-November, when people are actually hungry and they can't afford to get food that they're used to, the hustle is drying up. Now,
Hmm.
if you really understand the potential, though, like the ease that getting grants, the ease of certain programs that are available to you, if you're not on it right now, dude, there's money out there, but
Mm-hmm.
you got to be willing to write grants for that. They're not just gonna give it to you on a snap card.
Hmm.
You gotta do more. And so I believe if they had given Kamala Harris more time, see, now we finding out that Biden has prostate cancer, and you know that by the time they gave her the wheel, it wasn't enough time for the machine to really kick in on the
It,
level that it was supposed to.
honestly, I don't think that's what it was, man. I think what it was, I'll say what it was to me, man. I'll go into my political, whatever. I feel like she was pushed on us. Like they didn't give us a chance to get to know her like in that capacity. Like we knew her as a vice president, but it's kind of like something funny is going on with Biden. You really don't know. I mean, I didn't buy into the whole mental health thing too much. Like people tried to pick on that and make it old, but I feel that there was a lot of rhetoric from Trump that had to do kind of like that kind of thing. But I feel like, man, it just seemed like they just slided by Biden out the way and they pushed this other person, and they don't even give nobody a chance to like. And honestly, it probably, the way they went about it, man, it made people that were true to that. I just didn't feel the best about. I just was just kind of like, but maybe that's just the moral, the moral compass that I have. Not saying that I'm the most moral person either, but I'm just saying my moral compass was. I knew that somebody trying to do the old one Tuesday, man. I was just like, and then Trump just took advantage of that, man. He took that as an opportunity to say, you know what do I have to lose? I'm going all out. I told people, dude, I forwarded people Project 2025. Like that's how passionate I was. When I couldn't believe what I was reading. I
Mm.
couldn't even believe what I was reading on. I was like, dang. And I'm like, everybody's for this dude. The people who are down with this are saying this dude is down with them. And like nobody's like paying it. It was like standing at a corner and the light turned red, but you're watching all these cars just keep on going, dude. And they just crashing on.
Right. The pile up. But that dude is I just to kind of rewind it a little bit is that debate between Biden and Trump is that was the first signs that was the first time I saw the the mental lapse of Biden. It was the first time that I have really seen that old man that his age really popped up during that debate, and it's like, damn, this nigga be out in meetings with world leaders, and this nigga's light is blinking off and on,
Oh, man.
and it's like the as much as I feel like even he was forced on us, like only because that was that was Obama's sidekick. He wasn't a real candidate. So this notion of the vice president becoming president, man, Al Gore can tell you how that shit turned out, right?
Man.
If we look back on what the world would have been like had people really, I don't know how many people watched The Inconvenient Truth, but the reality is, man, Al Gore was on that. If that world would have evolved, I saw Al Gore speak at UCLA before the World Wide Web became what it was. Before that, in the beginning of America Online, to know that Al Gore was behind the information superhighway the way he was, dude, the world owes Al Gore a debt of gratitude to this day. Everything that
Hey,
he got
he was going up against the wrong family, and they
at the
found
wrong time.
everything the president right now wanted. Al Gore came up against
Hey man,
people with power, family. They found them votes, man. They found them
hey bro,
votes.
it, if Al Gore dusted it off today, if something came on MSNBC right now and said Al Gore is throwing his hat in the ring, Nick, my vote right there. That hey man, this that dude was realer than Obama. That part of it is like Al Gore was on some other shit. So hey man, I don't know who they gonna cook up for this next one.
Hey, I'll say this: anybody watching right now, if you want to see something doper than The Wire, something doper than 50 Cent and the Powers and all that, look
Right.
at Al Gore running against Bush and what happened and how they stretched that out
Dude,
and what money and power. If you think that what's going on right now is something,
hanging chads. That's all I gotta say. That what world is that? What is a hanging chad? I was like,
yeah, nah, but I'm gonna bust it down to the last one, Tanner.
all right.
Nah, it was cool, man. It was real cool. I appreciate everything. What's the best advice anyone's ever given you?
Ooh, the best advice. Uh, man, shout out to El Shadia, aka Matchavita Melchizedek, for plan your work and work your plan.
Mm-hmm.
It's it comes down to a simple You can talk about it all you want. You can plan it out all you want. But until you start working the plan, hey man, you just spinning your wheels in the mud.
Man, I'm gonna give you one of mine. It wasn't profound because she gave birth to me, but it was profound because of what she said. My mother told me when I was about 7 years old, everybody ain't your friend.
Fact,
It
fact.
sounded so cruel to me at the time. I mean, I watched the Brady Bunch and Scooby Doo and all that, and well, if people are, why wouldn't everybody be my friend? You know, but this cold world has taught me everybody ain't your friend, man.
Nah, the hey the your I'll tell you the defining moment is in my life. Your red monkey boots. The fact that your uniqueness down to those fucking red monkey boots, and then when you was like, uh, your when you started singing, it was James Brown. He was like, inch, 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 and you was gigging. You was
Shout out to
that's your shit.
DJ. Oh man, it's Keith's brother. What's Keith's brother name? Oh man, I can't remember. No, his name is Keith. Shout out to DJ Keith E. He would rock a production of Sex Machine back in the trendy days. And then shout out to John Manchester.
Shout out
He
John for
stole
sure.
the red monkey boots out my gym locker.
What?
He stole them and hid them. They called them the red snappers. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, that your the when I moved here, uh, uh, your red monkey boots made me feel comfortable wearing my raccoon skin hat.
We were some misfits, man.
Yeah, yeah. So, I appreciate your uniqueness and your perspective on just the way you carried yourself throughout, and the notion that throughout everything, man, time has kept us in orbit, and you've been a stand up dude from day one. So, man, I
Well,
appreciate you, brother. I
Well, I
appreciate.
I, I give Brown some props too, because we would always bump into each other and run into each other, but not necessarily the closest. But when Brown decided he wanted to do this, he's like, "Oh, dude, give Santana a call." Then that's when it was kind of like, "Oh, shoot!" And it was fun. It was very interesting to me because Brown really wouldn't fool with nobody that I kind of went to high school and like all that. And not that the people I went to high school with are just whatever, were bad people or just full of just whatever. But man, since the 90s, him and I have been experiencing trying to work with people on stuff and it just kind of not working out. You know what I'm saying? So it was I appreciate you being down with the squad. All that you and Truthseekers does, your crew. Um, where can people catch a show?
Mixcloud, of course, Farside TV is home base. So we are on every Sunday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. That's when we do the show on Sundays. Then on 88.1 FM HD3 KKJZ out of Long Beach, we got a block of radio time there from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. So shout out Man in the Loft who does Loft Radio. So it's Truthseekers Loft Radio, and we just added the great Late Show with Justin Muzak to the scene, and we're gonna have a new show from Capture Radio coming on there. So we're about to fill up the 88.1 vibe, and then of course tune in, iHeart, Spotify, Apple Music, man, the net is huge. So you can catch some unique content that brings you all back to we post our archives through Mixcloud right now. So you go to Truthseekers Radio at Mixcloud, you'll catch the archives from the latest shows there, or pretty much all the shows going back to 2009, maybe.
So
Yeah, yeah. So that's it, man. That's it. That's it. Yeah, shout out Brown because that dude, that dude is like the template. Also, an only child. I'm an only child, so like I feel like our minds kind of operate the same way. Like you want to be trusting and believe what everybody say, but when it comes down to it, it's only what they doing. Are they helping you or are they hurting you?
man, man.
So
I heard
yeah,
I
yeah.
heard that. And where can they find you on your socials?
Uh, Instagram is Truth Seekers Radio. I'm also at Buddha Supreme. That's my painting and my personal music stuff. But then Truth Seekers Radio is the Instagram handle. Yeah, Truth Seekers Radio.
So, all right. I can take a slice of that. With that being said, this has been another episode of Splendid Radio on Farside TV. Thanks, Mr. Santana. Peace.
Yeah, bring some